In 2026, we'll begin the new series Dialogue Through a Cosmogram. It stems from a simple idea. Certain pictograms seem to form a coherent whole. If we consider that not all crop circles are of human origin, then it becomes logical to look for a structure, a guiding thread, rather than analyzing them one by one. Mine is clear: the sun. The series will offer a progressive deciphering focused on themes linked to the cosmos, that is to say, the astronomy and astrophysics of our star. These are fields that solar specialists may find interesting because this approach, although very different from the academic framework, acts like a headlamp, allowing us to explore a dark zone, barely studied, and likely to remain neglected for a long time due to a lack of institutional interest. For all that, the dossier will remain accessible to everyone. Each step will be explained simply to make reasoning easier, even without any scientific background. We can allow ourselves to study this phenomenon rigorously, even without being an astrophysicist or an academic, because there is, to this day, no academic discipline dedicated to crop circles. It is also at this moment that a personal observation deserves to be recalled. In the early years of the site, a statistics tool called eStat made it possible to identify the origin of web connections. To my great surprise, a significant proportion of visits came from institutional servers and research centers. The connections were made from within their internal networks, which at the time left an identifiable trace. This finding encouraged me to continue. The subject was clearly taboo on the surface, yet closely monitored behind the scenes. It was not a matter of a few isolated curious visitors, but of a recurring and genuine interest coming from the scientific world. This new series should therefore, logically, interest them again. An important point will emerge as the work progresses. One of the most intriguing. By grouping these motifs and reading them in the correct order, certain data seem to anticipate real astronomical or astrophysical events. This amounts to considering that these formations may contain invisible data, a discrete, structured writing system of which, until now, we have perceived only the surface. This phenomenon is not presented as a warning, nor as a message of danger. It simply distances itself from the fear-based narratives that have long dominated public discourse on crop circles, including, at times, some of my own work. No, here it is something else. A calm and methodical demonstration that a form of intelligence or consciousness, difficult to decide between the two, could perceive certain solar-related events in advance. In other words, offering a glimpse of the future with surprising precision. The potential of this idea will be explored cautiously, step by step, throughout the year 2026. The pages may perhaps be opened to those who wish to contribute or propose an additional line of inquiry via a dedicated email address. This address will remain confidential and will be used only within the strict framework of this dossier. There is no mailing list associated with this project, nor any dedicated space on social networks, because the exchange must remain discreet. And since anyone can create a specific, anonymous address for this purpose, it will be possible to work the old-fashioned way without exposing oneself publicly. As the webmaster and manager of the site, I also specify that I do not use any tracking system. Simply open the source code of this page to see that no tracking tool is installed. The only record that exists is an automatic counter built into the server, limited to the number of connections, the number of pages viewed, and a list of anonymized IP addresses, sometimes associated with nothing more than a broad geographical area. These data are purely technical and do not in any way allow the precise origin of visitors to be traced. There is no intention on my part to know more. The aim of this series is not to conclude, but to make visible data we have never been accustomed to observing. And finally, to open the possibility of a dialogue, in the form of a cosmogram, with a presence unidentified or unclassifiable. This work will be published via the Research and Deciphering page.